Hello, everyone. The Fit Philosopher King here. So, this channel is basically to discuss what I think are important current topics, how to navigate reality, and we'll talk about philosophy, finances, relationships. Um, I think everything is intertwined, right? Mind, body, and spirit. The first topic that I wanted to talk about today is based on a conversation that I was having with a friend, um, and I think it's important to clarify a few concepts. So right now, with the metaverse and AI and narratives, information, influencers, like the world is becoming a very confusing place. So I think to a great extent, philosophy and my experience with the past 15 years being in self improvement, I've kind of tasted a lot of things, tested, and I think the mental model that I'm going to share is one in which can help us navigate reality. And that is the topic of today, reality. So, with all the things that are going on, how can I begin to understand that reality? So, I'm going to be sharing here uh, something real quick, and I'll actually leverage AI in order to explain some concepts and help me kind of share that with you. So, first, I'm going to draw this circle here, and this is going to represent ob- objective reality. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. Actually, I'm going to put it on top. So, this is going to be objective reality. So, what is objective reality? Let's ask. Let's ask Gemini. So, what is objective reality? So, objective reality refers to the state of things as they actually are, independent of any individual's perception or interpretation. It exists outside of our minds and continues to exist even if we're not aware of it. So, this is very important. I'm going to give a few examples of what objective reality is. So, Earth, objectively, for the most part, all of us human beings live in planet Earth. Regardless of anyone's opinion, perception, bias, or thoughts, that is objective reality. So, I'm going to move this a little bit. I'm going to put it up here. So, that is one objective reality. I'm going to give another example, which I just mentioned. So, human beings, human. To a great extent, most of us watching this video are human. We're not cats, we're not dogs, we're not birds, we're human beings. It's objective reality. Regardless of what anyone's opinions, perceptions, etc., we're human beings. That is a part of objective reality. There's a quote from Miyamoto Musashi who says, and I'm going to paraphrase, reality is what it is, and you must bend to its will or live a lie. Reality is what it is. Then, another example, I'll put it down here. Let's say we're all, I'm gonna, there's a saying, and Neil deGrasse Tyson shares about this. Gravity, thou art a heartless bitch. So, gravity. It's important to note that generally speaking, every human being is subject to gravity on planet Earth. There's a few exceptions, so it's not an absolute truth. If someone is in space, depending on the distance, they're not going to be subject to Earth's gravity, for example. So, context in everything is important. This is one of the things I've learned in self development. There's a saying I really like: what is good for the spider is chaos for the fly. So, I understand that there's a distinction, an important distinction, and I'll give an example. Let's move into subjective reality. Try to make the circles about the same. I'm gonna put them here, kind of like give an overlap. What is an example of subjective reality? Allergies. I'll put an allergy here. Not sure if that's the right, how it's written correctly. So there are some human beings that have allergies, but not all human beings have allergies. So, for example, a peanut allergy. There's people who have an allergic reaction to even molecules of peanut being in the atmosphere. So we're going to consider this side here subjective reality. Let me move it over. I'll try to put it here. Um, and I'm going to move this one a little bit to the left just to kind of keep them noticeably separate. All right, so we're going into allergy. There's other types of subjective realities. And I'm going to put here spiritual. Spirituality, this is for me a very important uh, topic. Let me see if I can put it here. Just going to leave it there. So, spirituality is the best definition that I've found is the world of the intangible. So by intangible means that I cannot touch. I cannot touch a belief system. I cannot touch faith. I cannot touch happiness. So feelings, thoughts, those are things that I cannot touch. So the spiritual realm is basically the things that I cannot touch. Honesty, the principle of honesty, the values of simplicity, things of that nature. Every human being, every being almost in this earth is spiritual in some way, shape, or form. All of them. So spirituality, in that sense, exists. Okay. Now I'm gonna put here within subjective reality. I try to think of another example. For now, we can just leave it as it is, right? That's this is basically proving a point. Now there is an overlap, and I'll kind of share what that is. How can I paint this over here? Let's go. Let's go. Let's paint. Let's paint, dude. Let's paint. Oh, there we go. Okay. So there is. That's terrible. Terrible drawings. Let me use this one and let's try it again. Okay. I'll try to paint this over here. So basically what I'm trying to do here is indicate that there's an overlap. I think there is an alignment between the two, and recently there's been a lot of conflict between subjective reality being imposed on objective reality. And what I'm seeing is that this distorts the capabilities of individuals to discern objective reality versus subjective reality. And it is important to highlight that principles and values are of extreme importance. Principles of tolerance, humility, respect, like these things are important. They should be prioritized over personalities without neglecting objective reality. So, if I were to say that I am a dragon, and I truly, with every cell of my being, believe that I am a dragon, objective reality lets me know it's not the case. I am not a dragon. I am a human. This is very important. As I mentioned earlier, Miyamoto Musashi said, reality is what it is, and you must bend to its will or live a lie. Now, within certain scientific organizations, I'm going to say it that way, the study, such as psychology, psychiatry, and things like that, to some extent, attempt to measure the individual's capabilities to discern reality. Interestingly enough, I've had conversations with professionals um, in these pillars of science that appear to have lost that capability. So that's one of the things that's motivating me to create these videos. I'm not saying that these professionals are how can I put this? Um, like the best thing I can think of is like it's like carpenters. Like if I hire a carpenter and they do a shitty job, it doesn't mean that all carpenters are shitty carpenters. I have to that's the distinction that I'm trying to make here. Now, even the vast population of carpenters, 90% of them are shitty carpenters, they're shitty carpenters. There's no way around it. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying 90% of psychologists are shitty. I'm just saying it's important to understand these concepts because in every profession, there's always, you know, a um, shitty person or shitty role or whatever. You get the point. Okay, so moving on. Spirituality does manifest in the objective world. My principles and values, even though they're in the spiritual realm, the intangible world, they can manifest in the objective world. For example, if I have a thought and the motivation, which are intangible, to go to the gym and work out, they have the potential of being a part of objective reality when I grab the weights and I train. When I train, there are physical changes that occur in my body. So my heart rate goes up. I tear muscle fiber, and the output is my muscles grow. It starts from the subjective reality. It starts from my principles and values, and there is a direct impact to objective reality. So both there is a section where both of them intertwine. And this is what I want to share. I want to share principles in everyone can which everyone can utilize and start creating and understanding what is happening in the world, start thinking for themselves utilizing these tools. There's a saying in self improvement that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. At the end of the day, the seekers of truth will find a way. Now, there's also shitty seekers of truth, you know? And in a world where there's agendas, where there's interests, people will tend to muddy the water to distort reality. But it is important for us to be able to discern what reality is and how they intertwine. And when subjective reality may be a illusion, it's not real. One of my spiritual guides tells me often, feelings are not facts. And feelings are there for a reason, but there are principles and values that allow me to respond to my environment in a healthy way. And it's important as an individual, as a human being, to understand what these are and how to put them in practice. So within this channel, I'm gonna be expanding on this subject. I'm gonna share what I've learned in the past 15 years being in self-improvement, studying philosophy. Like I don't have a I don't have a degree or a certificate or anything like that, but I'm just a self-help junkie that wants to understand what's happening, what's real and what's not. So some this presentation correlates to Plato's allegory of the cave. And I'll expand and share what that is later on. But I want to start from here because I think this topic is something that's extremely important for everyone to understand. So with that, I'm gonna finish this video. Um, and again, thank you for watching. Let me close this out. If you found that this is something that's interesting, of value, please subscribe, like the video, and then share with anyone who you think would benefit from looking into this. So, thanks again. Have a good night.